The opioid crisis is being called white America's crack epidemic. A new analysis by the New York Times found 14,000 black lives were saved because of racist practices by doctors. Their research suggests physicians underprescribed opioids to black patients, believing they have a higher threshold for pain or that they are more likely to sell those drugs. It's so ironic that racism could have actually saved some of our lives in this case. But Dr. Reynolds, how crazy is it that trained medical professionals actually believe that black people feel less pain?
Well, I mean, as a physician, we're coming from a household, so that's a start. We're not born doctors. We're born, someone's son, someone's daughter, and that's our first level of training. So if you're in a household where you're taught that, black is not as important or it doesn't, matter as much, black lives don't matter that much, then you're just going to bring that into your ideology of whatever profession you're in. So, unfortunately, there's a long time that physicians were really all white male. So we have improved in having female physicians, and now we have more black female physicians, but we still are the minority. So if you're a doctor or you have doctors who are still practicing and they've been doctors for a long time, white men, older at this point, you can't really change their minds about things, then you're going to have that spill over into, like your visit with that particular doctor. And they are still out there. I mean, I'm not putting any physician down. However, hopefully in the future, we're moving towards treating people equally. In this case, it was a little bit protective, but for the wrong reasons. So we want to still protect, but, for the right reasons, not because of color or, sex or, anything like that.
So, Stan, are you seeing the silver lining or are you outraged?
I don't really know how to answer that question. I mean, yay, we didn't get opioids, but we got shot by the cops and we have crappy housing. It's
we have other problems.
Yeah, it's pretty ironic, but the fact of the matter is, like sexism, racism is something that is so prevalent in our lives. It's like the air you breathe, the water you drink. You don't even have to have a racially problematic parent or a family member or neighbor in your household. Society tells you that black lives don't matter in small ways all the time. And an idea that black people had a stronger threshold for pain and that black women were naturally sexual, so you could rape them and it wasn't illegal, has been an idea in American world since we've started here. So it's not surprising. When you think about why people have these ideas now, it's really scary.
Well, that is a great question. Why do people have the ideas now?
I mean, that I can't answer. Unfortunately, to Stan's point, I feel like that's just something that we've been socialized into, and I think it's going to take some of these older generations, to be frank, dying out, and us challenging with our younger generations, like Gen X, Gen Z rather, they're so progressive and so just open-minded, and they're pushing the boundaries with regards to everything in the political and social landscape, and I just have so much hope looking at them that hopefully as we continue to procreate and have further generations, that they will change the overall outlook that we have as a society, and that things will eventually get better. But as of right now, there's no answer for that, and there's no solution, fortunately.
I think there is, though.
Really?
It's a hard solution, it's a hard answer, but we have to destroy white supremacy. We got to break the knees of that shit to knock it over the head. Because the whole reason we have this problem is because this idea of whiteness has poisoned everyone's minds. And it hurts black people a certain way, it hurts brown people a certain way, and it hurts white people a certain way. And we have to start having a conversation with each other and start to find ways to decolonize our minds. Whiteness is not real, it is a construct. It's all made up, and it was used to build power over one group. That's all it is. And once we get there, we can really start to dig in all the ways that it's messed us all up. So that's where I'm at.
But do you think if whiteness is a construct, then you could argue that blackness is a construct?
It is. It is. It's all a construct. It's made up. Because, if this is year one, and I ran into you, you ran into me, well, we both be in Haiti, but say we ran into the good doctor over here, she'd be Jamaican, we'd be Haitian, period. That'd be that. Or whatever tribes are coming from, that's what it would be. Whiteness was literally made. It was an idea that started off in Greece as a reason to justify slavery, and it's just evolved over the years. There's a really good book called Stamped from the Beginning that talks about this. But it's really just a construct, and we gotta attack it.
So I have a question, though, quickly, if I may. How do you say it so easily, we're able to just snap a finger like Thanos and like white supremacy is gone. Like it's not like this is something, as you just mentioned, that's been in existence for centuries. Like how you can't, that's not something that's going to get solved overnight. And I think that we are on platforms like this and also in our own homes and in our own communities having these conversations, but we are, at the bottom line, we're not the ones in power. So how much are we going to really impact the educational system, the socialization of people in their own homes that's really going to be the catalyst to changing people's mindsets on the long term? I'm hopeful that each little bit of step that we take is going to make that change, but it's definitely not going to be something that happens overnight.
No. And it won't happen during our time either. But like, instead of trying to get a seat at the table, break the goddamn legs and make your own, like this table right here. And also, we have to engage white people in a conversation. And I say that as someone who loves slandering white people and white supremacy. If white people aren't bought into this, we're going nowhere.
Exactly, and that's why it starts at medical school. So how can we train doctors to be more racially sensitive?
Well, I mean, that's a tough one. You know, we can, like, first of all, like, I have, like, a voice, and I'll say, you know, exactly how I feel about how patients are being treated. I mean, I have openly said, you know, well, I think that you're doing this because this patient is Black, or have not done this because this patient is Black. It's, you know, it ruffles feathers, but, you know, just be open and honest. I mean, and as long as you're able to speak freely and point it out as it's happening, how many people are brave enough to do that, I don't know. But, you know, in the academic or educational system, we can pretty much kind of start there. So, you know, I'm also interested, have not yet been in a system like that, but I'm also interested in, you know, in the future, participate in education, medical education. So, you know, where I can use my voice and, you know, like my opinions to show that, you know, like, first of all, we are human beings. I'm one of them. I'm a physician, but I'm also a person. And with that same compassion, looking at, you know, a person, treating them equally across the board, hopefully I can lead by example. So it's going to take a mindset to say that I can identify the problem and I want to be a leader in, you know, pretty much fixing or helping to solve it.
Well, the idea that racial bias could have saved lives is shocking to me, but even if the bias is not malicious, it has no place among professionals we trust with our lives. You just watched a clip from the show that covers the culture like no other. For every episode, I assemble a panel of thinkers, activists, celebs, and outspoken experts to give us their unfiltered opinions on the topics that matter to Black America. This is elevated, intelligent, and uncensored discussion, representing every perspective. The conversations we have when we're the only ones in the room. No topic is off limits. We're not afraid to go there, and we do it all live, 5 days a week. Join me here every weekday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media at twitter.com/Marlie Show. It's The Marlie Show. There's nothing else like it.